dependency for the Yiga Clan Master Koga!
Welcome to Mojo Plays, and today we'll be going over everything we're excited for in Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago.
Here, now, go forth, and be brave for your kingdom!
The newest entry in both the Hyrule Warriors and Breath of the Wild series is upon us, and we couldn't be more ecstatic about slashing up Bokoblins, Choo-Choos, and Lizalfos. To celebrate this occasion, we're hosting a giveaway alongside Nintendo of Canada. One lucky winner will receive a Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity prize pack. Make sure to check the video description for all the details. Without further ado, here's everything we're excited about in Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The Playable Warriors. One of the most appealing aspects of the first Hyrule Warriors was the large roster that only grew in size when the Wii U title made its way onto Switch. You had characters from almost every Zelda game joining the fight, from Sheik, Midna, and Ganondorf to oddballs like Tingle, Skull Kid, and even Akuko. While not as expansive, Age of Calamity will feature a more focused roster size to really highlight Breath of the Wild's main characters. Link, Zelda, Impa, and the 4 champions will boast unique mechanics and abilities, meaning there is plenty of variety and opportunity to mix and match your team of warriors. Sure, they may share some rune abilities, but in the end, it all depends on how you integrate them into your combos. The massive battles. Like Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity features huge battles taking place across a sprawling map. Really, you're going to have to keep track of what's going on where. Though we wouldn't blame you if you decide to make the trek from point A to B, as the environments are vibrant and imaginative. As for combat, every character has light and heavy attacks, but how you combine them is where Age of Calamity really shines.
It's time.
The game also brings back the rune abilities Link uses in Breath of the Wild, offering another way to devastate your opponents in a spectacular and strategic fashion. Want to see more boulder hurling with Magnesis? You're gonna want to play as Zelda. Trust us. More puzzles. The original Hyrule Warriors fell in line with Koei Tecmo's main Dynasty Warriors games, focusing more on a power fantasy combat rather than some of the more prominent elements that the Zelda franchise is known for, such as puzzles. These can be as simple as finding a hidden chest underneath rubble, or as complex as scenarios where you'll have to deal with combat modifiers. Some enemies may not be defeated so easily with basic button mashing, and may require use of abilities like Cryonis, Stasis, and Magnesis. So, you may want to keep your guard up and figure out how to incorporate the rune abilities into your combos to dish out some devastating damage. Using the Divine Beasts.
Impressive. Now this! Off with you!
Some of the coolest moments in Breath of the Wild are when you're exploring the sentient dungeons known as the Divine Beasts. Sure, they may have been frustrating at times, but it's hard to deny how unique they were to Breath of the Wild's world and identity. Luckily, the Divine Beasts are making a return in Age of Calamity. However, rather than venture inside them and solve puzzles, they will be at your disposal. That's right, you're going to be able to command these giant mythical creatures, and it looks like they're going to amplify our battles with more destruction and chaos. Yes, so many moblins shall fall before the mighty foot of the Divine Beasts. Tear down their bases, tear them all down. Amiibo support. Like many of Nintendo's newest games, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is getting amiibo support. Similar to how the first Hyrule Warriors handled the figures, players will be able to scan up to 5 amiibo per day in order to obtain an assortment of items. Scanning a Zelda-related amiibo may give you rare materials or even weapons and gear. Scan any other amiibo and you'll get the more standard resources. Although, if you're into amiibos for simply collecting, Nintendo is reprinting amiibos of the 4 champions, which were originally released for Breath of the Wild. So, if you missed the first wave, here's your second chance to nab them.
Thank you for your continued support for The Legend of Zelda and this game.
The story.
I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago.
Let's face it, it may be a while before we see Breath of the Wild 2. Until then, Nintendo and developer Omega Force are here to satisfy us with a prequel story. While not a direct prequel, Age of Calamity will tell the tale of a frequently mentioned event from Breath of the Wild known as the Great Calamity, a colossal war that would cause the tragic downfall of the Kingdom of Hyrule.
Calamity Ganon, a primal evil that has endured over the ages.
With Link, Zelda, Impa, and the 4 champions, you'll have to venture across Hyrule and fend off Calamity Ganon's armies using every weapon and ability in your arsenal. Of course, given how Breath of the Wild begins, we do get that eerie feeling knowing how this all ends. So sad.
I must protect everyone.
More weapons and crafting.
Steel yourself. I am ready.
Another way that Age of Calamity plans to make up for its more focused roster is through its weapons and crafting. And before you ask, no, there is no durability factor, so you won't have to worry about weapons and equipment inexplicably breaking mid-combat. Thank Hylia. During your missions, you'll collect a variety of materials that can be used to fulfill requests, rewarding you with another branch for combos, new moves, weapons, and even recipes. Yes, recipes are making their way back from Breath of the Wild, granting bonus stats to your warriors before beginning a mission. Cook up a juicy steak, and your warriors will begin the mission with a 5% damage increase. Given how expansive cooking was in Breath of the Wild, we wouldn't be surprised if Age of Calamity utilized a treasure trove of recipes as well. That reminds me, if you pre-order Age of Calamity, you'll get a special weapon and shield for Link, a soup ladle, and a pot lid. Guess who's cooking up a can of whoop-ass?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Mojo Plays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.